Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, July 17th. And I just thought I would say something while I mentioned the date. Yesterday was marking my 18th anniversary. So I'm very, very happy. Hi, Polly. Come here. Come here. Come here. I just want you to see my Polly dog. Come here. Up. Yes, with her pink ears and pink tail. We're still babysitting while her mom is in New York City. So that's great. Things are a little discombobulated here. What's new, right? Yesterday, I was outside in the almost 90-degree heat all afternoon doing the indigo dyeing. And when I finally, thank you. It's been the best years, and I have found my best self. So sometimes, just remember this, ladies. Sometimes it can seem like everything is going pear-shaped, and you may get a divorce after a long marriage. And what in the world do? Just keep having hope, because my life has ended up exactly where I was meant to be. And that's nice. So, hello, everybody. Trying to get myself, I just feel, I tell you what, let me close. There is so much sun all of a sudden. It was raining a second ago. Now the sun is out. Let me close the shades so that I can feel comfortable, not have this glare in my eyes. Okay. Be right back, guys. I'm right here. When the sun was so bright, I thought, well, I can turn off my light. But no, it didn't quite give me the look I wanted. Plus, that sun coming in the window was bright. So, hello, Monica's here. Hi, sweetie. It is so good to see you. And Marcia's so good on the job to welcome everybody. So, let's see. Marcia and Laura. Hi, Laura. You set the alarm for this yesterday. Good job, Laura. Once you get into the habit, it's so funny. My grommet dog came down the stairs before I was even down here, because in his little head, it's Sunday afternoon, Mama's going to go downstairs and get all happy. And then he loves to be down here because I'm happy doing this, and he is happy just being near me when I'm happy. So, kind of nice. All right. Now, so that we saw Laura. Mary, hi. Yes, we've got Indigo Fabric Day. And let's see. Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie, who's going to be moving. That's going to be a big thing in your life, sweetheart. But I know you can do it. So, and you're going to like the cooler weather. I have to be honest. Kathy Klein is here. That is wonderful. Oh, gosh, it is so good. Betty Middleton is here. Hey, Betty. So it is so good to see all of you. This is just great. And we're hoping that our Pat Fry will be back soon, because she came back from the mountains because she said they got tired of having no TV and no internet. I wouldn't be able to survive with no internet. All right. So it is so good to see Monica on here. Linda McCollum is here. Yay, Linda. Yay, Linda. I love seeing her here. She's been frustrated with eye problems and energy levels, and she agreed with me. growing old is not for the faint of heart. You have got to become braver than you ever knew you could be. So I understand. Today I brought out my strawberry quilt, not only because it's beautiful for summer, but it's hiding Annette Parsons, woohoo! It's hiding a multitude of sins behind it. Oh, and Annette, I've been meaning to tell you, I haven't sold my Elna yet. I'm still trying to figure out everything, if I'm going to sell it or not. And I probably will, but I will make sure, if you might still be interested, send me OurTimeToQuilt at twc.com. I found the service receipt where I had it serviced right before the coronavirus hit, the pandemic. But anyway, if you just make sure I have your email, that way, if I decide to sell it, you'll be the first one to know. Because it'll be a pretty good deal, let me tell you. It's, I think everything that ever worked on it still works, and you're getting it for a quarter, less than a third of what I paid for it. So that would be a good deal. Okay, so I have a mess everywhere. When you work outside and it's about 90 degrees and humid, I mean, it could have choked a horse. I had my little asthma inhaler out there with me and my big water glass. I had put makeup on because I wanted to do a little intro for the video I was filming. And then at one point I was sweating so much, it was in my eyes and it was dripping on everything I was doing. So I took a big paper towel, forgetting that I had makeup on, and just smeared it all over myself. But it felt better. And then Mark came up and said, "Oh, honey, you've got indigo blue all around everywhere I touched." So it was funny. It was hilarious. So, okay. Well, I think I was sitting over here. Well, maybe we can just chat. I have been continuing to work on cleaning this room because I'm determined to get my life organized. I have so many fun things that I want to do. Like when we finish our show today, I'm going to be working. I think I'm going to hot glue, you know, that foam that I'm going to turn into a magic mushroom? That sounds odd. But I'm going to take my sea glass bits and a hot glue gun, and I'm going to glue them on that mushroom, and then I will use some kind of grout to grout it all over, then seal it so I can put it outside. Pardon me, my eyeglasses fell off. I need to get a different eyeglass holder because this one is not holding very well. But anyway, so it is hot and humid here. Is it hot and humid where y'all are? Your 5th anniversary was last week. Happy anniversary, Laura. We are so glad to see you. We have missed our ladies. When y'all don't come, we notice it. But, you know, life gets busy, and I totally understand. All right. Instead of just dumping this on the floor in a big mass, this is when I buy basic fabrics. Like when I buy black fabric or white fabric, and sometimes even cream fabrics, I will end up buying 5 yards at least. If I get a good price on it, I will buy it. And I have some bolts that I had from back when I was teaching at a local quilt shop. I would ask them for any trap bolts that they were going to throw away. And then I will go ahead and fold up this long yardage on a bolt. So it's very easy to see and get to and all of that. So I'm just going to try real quick. That way I can get this out of the way. I had a problem the other day. I found some more fusible interfacing, this time a medium weight, and I was rolling it on the bolt, and unfortunately, it is so lightweight and kind of stiff. You know what? This is rolling messy, so I'm still going to end up just kind of putting it over here on the floor. But at least I didn't put it in a great big mound, and it got temporarily rolled up. I don't like this angle. Let me bring you on the air. Okay. So, you know that I have fallen in love with indigo dyeing. It is so magical. But I'll tell you, yesterday's dyeing was the last time that I'm going to dye 90 degrees outside in the humidity. But I've been getting all these packs ready, and I do have them available for sale if you're interested. And I was real tickled to send a few out this past week. And thank you very much for my buyers. So, I'm going to show you the results. And then don't worry. I got up this morning because yesterday evening I was just like, too exhausted. But I got up this morning and I was going to try to edit the video I took yesterday. And unfortunately, I still don't know something. I'm missing a few things on how to use this new Adobe video elements. So finally I realized it's 1 o'clock. You've got to start getting ready to do a show. So I will work on it tonight, tomorrow, whatever, until I get it done. And then I'll schedule a live video. So if you want to see it, you've got nothing better to do on a Wednesday night, and we'll watch it together. So do you remember when I was showing y'all that I did an accordion fold to fabric, and then I did a whole lot of stitching, and I did them in angles because I was hoping that everywhere I stitched it would leave a white line? It didn't. So that was a lot of work. Now, I love the texture. I think that's pretty cool. But, yeah, it doesn't do it for me. Now, if you want, if you want medium indigo colors, and I'll show you in a minute, I've got plans to turn this indigo into a quilt. So that was one thing I did because I could manage one finger on a mouse to look up quilt patterns. So, but I don't know. I might end up over dyeing this. I'm just going to have to see. But look where all the sewing created these lines. So that was a lot of time spent doing all of that stitching, and it didn't work. So then I did another accordion fold, and this one had a leaf pattern on it, and you can kind of see that. So a little bit this showed, a little bit. See, it kind of comes through. So this one I will probably save, and here is some more. So there are a few little marks where it shows, but not enough for all that time I took to sew it. I know that if you hand stitch it, it's supposed to hold the lines white, but I think the tension would have to be really tight, and maybe you'd have to use like a quilting thread, a heavyweight thread. But also, most people that do the stitching draw it up, and that's what really ensures a white line. But I don't like it that way. It makes the line look kind of fuzzy. So let me bring up my basket, and I'll show you some of the other things. Now, when I show you the video, you're going to be amazed at how black the indigo fabric is online, because I made sure to soak these, to dip them 3 separate times. I'm also working to finish up a handout that I can send you if you want to try indigo dyeing, and a little bit of the history and the science behind it. And I did do something different this time. I made sure I put vinegar in the final rinse water to help set the color. But I do tell you, if you want to get a really, really deep indigo, 3 times is not going to be enough. Probably have to get closer to 10 times. So that's a little tough. But I did get some really good responses, and so that I'm tickled about that. This one probably turned out the best. This is where I put the hot glue gun and use the hot glue resist. Now, you can see it's been washed and dried in the clothes dryer, so it's very easy to pull off the hot glue. And hold on. I was worried. I thought Mark had gone ahead and put them in the dryer, and I thought, uh-oh, I hope the hot glue. But I figured, no, I don't think the dryer gets hot enough to melt this hot glue. But it just kind of makes it a little like it wants to loosen up just a little. So here is the result. I'm going to tell you, this is my new favorite way to do the resist. Luckily, we got off Amazon a great big box full of 10-inch glue sticks. So that way, because I ended up using 2 glue sticks to do this one piece of fabric. But if you can buy them at a good price, then it is worth it to do it. Now, let me peel off another area, because what I'm finding, yesterday when I started to peel off, I didn't think the fabric was very white behind it. But now today, I'm finding it's a lot brighter than I thought, which makes me so tickled. So this to this has been peeled. This has been peeled. This part has been peeled. So look how bright that is. And then when I come over here to these little floral things, I am tickled. So I never read to do hot glue resist, but now I'm a fan. I just thought, hey, what can I do? Because you know how I was not having any luck by using the clear gel glue that so many people talk about? Well, I've noticed now when you use a clear gel glue, they use RIT dye. They don't use indigo. So they don't have to do a long soak and then put it in the dye, and they don't have to put it in the dye bath 3 or 4 times, because with the type of dye RIT is, you just put it in the thing and let it sit. And a few minutes later, when you bring it out, it is nice and dark. Well, with me, it ends up getting rubbed and moved around and rinsed. And, well, so the cool thing is, I'm trying to look for a positive here, guys, because I spent hours doing 2 pieces with glue resist. The cool thing is it does leave a pretty pattern on. But here I just did some peeling off of the glue. So this is going to be my go-to method. Just putting hot glue on it. And I love how bright it is underneath. The other areas where there's still glue, the glue is a little discolored, so you don't realize how bright it is until you take the glue off. And that's what I love best. I was hoping to have all of these ironed for you so I could show them in their best light. Sorry. Here is a big piece that I wound on the PVC pipe. And it is magnificent. The whole piece is colored. What I found is if you want a good resist, do smaller pieces. And that way the dye can get through the layers better. Because if you do a big piece, then you're going to end up with a lot of white areas. So just let you know. And I can buy white fabric. I want this blue. All right, here is the piece of fabric that had all the marbles put. And it is gorgeous. It's so bold. I dipped it 3 times, so it's a nice dark indigo. And I just love what those little marbles do. And this just, all you do is you take your white fabric, you put a marble here, put a very tight rubber band around it, very tight, and it keeps the indigo from going under the rubber band. Then this year, this dye time, I took and made my own resist pieces. I had some hard plastic I told you I found. I cut out different shapes. Here is one of them. And here's the way you can tell what was the original shape. And this is kind of unusual. I just kind of cut it wonky. And so here is this piece of fabric. Now, I just love these. And I'm probably going to want to do some more indigo dyeing, but I'm going to wait till fall. I know I can still make the dye bucket nice and warm, but then I don't have to be out in hot temperatures. Okay, this is the piece that I did an accordion fold and then put popsicle sticks on at a diagonal. Isn't that cute? I love it. And by doing a smaller, only 4 folds, look how much color you get. So that's wonderful. I love that. Now, some of you probably think, well, gosh, I wish the color went through everything equally, but that's not indigo. Here is a piece that I had done a bunch of glue on it to make glue. You can you kind of see the outlines of where I had something, but it's not worth all of that trouble. So next time, any designs I put on like that, I'm going to do with a hot glue gun. I mean, who would have thought? But I said, that would stick. But what I had to do when I did use the hot glue gun is make sure it didn't damage the fabric. I thought, what if you can't pull hot glue off? It did fine. Here's another one using, this one didn't use, was this the marble one? This one, no. All I did was push my finger up in the fabric and then take my finger out and put the rubber band, leaving a little bit of that. And it is so pretty. And remember, indigo dyes differently. So if you want a little slighter, like this is a little bit lighter side, so you get to pick which side you want. All right. I'm just pulling it out of the magic basket. This was 6 yards of fabric I did yesterday. Here is a little one that I did I rolled it diagonally on one of my 10-inch glue sticks. And then, whoops, hold on. It's right here. I rolled it diagonally on a 10-inch glue stick, and then I wrapped it with string and rubber bands and then scrunched it down, and it made this beautiful like honeycomb look. Now, the one problem is on this end, it was just white. So what I did really quick while I was out, while I was unfolding these, the few that I saw that kind of had too much white in some areas, I just twisted like this, twisted down, put a rubber band, dipped them twice, and that is what I got out of that. So that's a lot better than having a big blank white area. You see what I mean about my glasses falling off? So here is, this is my favorite style. Next time I do indigo dyeing, I'm going to do more of this. What you do is you take, whoops, this side. You take and do the accordion pleat, fold it back and forth, back and forth. Then you start folding it accordion style into triangles. Then you put 2 popsicle sticks with rubber bands, and that gives you these sharp lines. And you notice when it gets to the middle of the fabric, they're not as sharp. But isn't that cool? I'm hoping that, hi, Carol. Hi, sweetie. I know it is hard to pick your favorite. When they come out of the dye bath, it's like opening a Christmas present every time you open one of these. This is another resist where I did the accordion, then I folded it into a square, and then I had a hard plastic design. This is what it looked like. It was kind of a circle. No. This one actually was a square. It was a square design. And because the hard plastic, it wasn't like really hard. Like if you ordered a piece of plexiglass, that would keep an absolute perfect shape. But I wasn't going to pay $4.50 per pair of plexiglass on that, and they were already like, I don't know, it was too expensive. So I just went looking for my junk plastic and found it. All right, so here is another one that I had rolled on. I think I put this one on, the design says that I rolled it on something and scrunched it. Did I just, no? No. Okay. Maybe I just showed you that one. I don't know. I've got to remember, don't put them back in the basket. All right. Here is a circle resist project. Here is a circle resist, and the circle did really well. You can always see by the one part, let me see, I think opposite corners show you what the real resist look like. Isn't that great? And that's the beauty. That is the beauty of indigo. If you want pure, bright, intense, uniform color, don't go indigo. And there's one of those little centipedes crawling on the wall. Soon as I finish cleaning this room, we're going to spray for bugs because it has been so hot and humid this summer that the centipedes are trying to take over. So thank you for letting me get that. Now, this is a cool piece. And if you want to know some of the ways that I folded these, Thursday night's art quilt, I showed you these before the dyeing, showed all the different techniques. I will refer you back to Thursday's show. When I was searching the internet for what kind of different things can I find to do, I found a site where a woman went to Thailand to learn indigo dyeing. And this was a fold that I saw on there. And what you did was you did your accordion fold. So this made 4. You can always see the lines. This made 4 folds. Then, let me see if I can show you real quick. It was an unusual technique. I had to watch it 3 or 4 times to try to figure out exactly what she was doing. Okay, hopefully I can recreate that for y'all. So I'm going to bring this over and go down All right. So you do the accordion fold, okay? Then she took, and I think this one came over this way, and then she folded this back up this way, and then back. Whoops, hold on. It's a tricky thing. This way, and then, yeah, then this part got folded. So it's a bunch of triangles. See that? See this? A bunch of triangles, but it forms a straight strip. So now that this is back this way, I would come and fold it again this way, then turn it over carefully and fold it this way, then turn it back over. It's like origami, I tell you. And then this would go this way. Now, after I did all this fancy folding, then I took and rolled it on my big pipe. Okay, rolled it on my big pipe like this, and, you know, kind of went down so they didn't cover over each other. But rolled it over the big pipe, put a very tight rubber band at the top, then tied a piece of twine to it and ran the twine down the fabric, and which was on very smoothly like this, and then scrunched it up with, and then put a new rubber band at the bottom to hold it scrunched. And this is a magnificent design. So yes, was it tricky and a lot of folding? Yep, but was it worth it? Absolutely. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? And by doing a smaller piece, you get more color, more unified color all the way through. So this one might be my favorite. It's so hard to know. They kind of feel like my babies. This was a scrunch technique. So I just scrunched up the fabric, gathered it, scrunched it really tight, put rubber bands on. If I were to do it again, I would scrunch it less tight so that I would have more patterning on the inside. I tighten this so tight, you could have used it as a baseball. But I love it. I think it's really pretty. Really pretty. And there's enough color in the middle that I didn't feel like I needed to over dye it. You can always over dye something if it doesn't work to your specification. All right, this was a rope I used. It was a little piece of cotton rope, like, you know, you'd use to make, oh, y'all help me out here, the piping, okay? It's a piece of rope I had in the drawer from making piping. And what I did is I rolled a piece of fabric over it, like diagonally. And is this it? I'm trying to, oh, this just, it came out of the dryer like this. No, that's a different one. I will tell you more about this rope when I find the piece that it made. All right, then I had some cotton tape from way back when I worked at the Historic Museum, because we used to use this cotton tape to put in skirts so that people could tie them onto themselves. So I had some of this cotton tape, and it's, let me find the end piece of it. I thought, throw that in there, because then what I'm going to do with it is use it to tie up future charm packs. And it looks cool. And I kept thinking I would use it to make something, and I never did. So I thought, dye that too. Oh, goodness. After the washer and the dryer, they get all... I'm trying to look for the end. Up there's the end of one end. There should be another one too. Whoops. Hold on. Oh, gosh. I have no idea how many yards this is. So I'm looking for an end piece. And boy, if I had somebody here with me, it would make this so much easier. Okay, here we go. Here's an end piece. This is probably about an inch wide. Let me put my glasses on so I can see. Oh, good. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, so here is, because sometimes if I have enough scrap edges, I'll use the edge of the fabric that's been dyed to tape it together. But this, having all this tape, is very easy. All right, so that got dyed. Here is another sweet resist. This was a small circle because I like to use resists that are small enough that it has a wonderful, brilliant border around it. So let me, and I'm trying to, yeah. One side's always darker than the other. And so here is that. And here is the cute little resist. I think they kind of look like, it looks like a moon in the sky. So there's that resist. This one I had used, it was the piece cut off from the bottom of a big piece that I had folded and had this much left over. So I just accordion folded it and put rubber bands. I think this is the one I put rubber bands all the way down. Or this might have been, no, this one I think was the one that I wrapped around a wire. I had a plastic coated wire. And I just, like, after I accordion folded, I scrunched it and wrapped the wire around it. And I just wanted to see, what will a wire do? Well, how cool is that? That's really nice. And that was the easiest of all the resists to do, because you just take the wire and it holds so tight. I just kind of twisted it when I was done, because you have to go really tight. If you don't, you're not going to get the sharp designs. All right, ready? This one is the clothespin design. Okay, I'll show you this side. And this just comes from accordion folding and putting clothespins offset all the way down the line. And everywhere the clothespin has grabbed, you get a little square. I'll show you this. I wish the whole thing was as pretty as this first row. Isn't that pretty? But that's just where clothespins pinched it, and it left that design. I think that's one of the reasons I love this so much, is because the designs are as cool as you. Hi, Kaz! The designs are as interesting and different as you can envision them. Here is my wax resist. And I was so hot and tired. I made a boo-boo. This is actually the right side. It's not everything is showing through right yet, because I still have the thick wax on it. And, so I need to get the last of the wax off. But what I did, and I noticed that the wax didn't sink. I must not have had it quite hot enough, because I had this whole thing covered and not everything came through as good as I wanted. But if you do a wax resist, because see how pale this is? It's there, but I forgot to sort this out, take it out of the pile when we put it in the wash machine. You do not want wax in your pipes, in your plumbing. And so I was like, oops. Luckily, Mark ran a load with hot water right after this, because he put some dirty gardening clothes in. And hopefully it's not blocked up our pipe. So we shall see. But now I still need to get it to really show through what I did to it. I need to boil it And make sure you take that water. In fact, I'm going to set this separate, so I'll take it upstairs. I'm going to go ahead and boil it since it's just the one fabric. I'll boil it inside, but then I take that water outside and dump it. I'm not going to put it down my pipe. So, but if you're talking about glue resist versus wax, because basically what that is batik. So, all right. Now, this is a piece that I spent hours using the gel school glue. That's supposed to work wonders. I worked hours, and all you get is just muted designs. I did the coolest design on this. I had all these little flower sprays, and you'll have to look at Thursday nights. I mean, it came out beautiful. So what I'll probably do is use hot glue and do another one, because I was really looking forward to that design. But that's one of my glue uh-ohs. This was another glue uh-oh, or is this? No. This might be I just wanted indigo. So now, I was doing this by myself. My daughter was not here to help me. It's hard to do this by yourself because you have to pre-soak all the fabric in clear water. Then you have to take and squeeze it out, not over the dye bucket. Slowly lower it into the dye bucket. You're supposed to just keep moving it around in the dye bucket the whole time. I couldn't do that. It was so hot. I just kept squeezing and putting in, and I probably put too many in the bucket at one time instead of just swishing them through. When my daughter did it with me, she did the swishing in the dye bucket, and I did the squeezing and all of that. So that's why this one has a kind of clumpy look. Now, this might have even been the ombre, because I'm looking, this corner is a little darker. But this is why you get an uneven look. Now, honestly, that doesn't bother me at all. It just gives more interest. When you cut these up to small pieces and put them in things, you won't remember what it was supposed to be. And maybe this one is the ombre. Let's see. No, this must have been. This one was one of my glue experiments, because you see all of that. You see all that design, which honestly looks pretty on the fabric, but it's not the design that I wanted. So here is this one. Let me see. Here is this, and it has a lot of design on it, but it has a lot of design where the glue, I think once the glue kind of softened, it created its own design too. Okay, and then one thing I thought, I don't remember if I felt like I should have more fabric. I need to go back and take something that, like a net, and go through the indigo bucket and see if I left something in there, because I'm worried. But here was just a strip, and I think I just gathered this up and put rubber bands on it, but I think I might be missing a couple things. But I don't know what I'll use that for. And then, okay, here we go. This was another one of my scrunched pieces, and the light blue in the middle it had really nice edge design. And this one, I think I kind of had scrunched up and then put it into a tight ball. but it had so much white in the middle that then I just gathered some points together, put a rubber band on them, and redyed it real quick. After I opened it up, I put it back in the dye bath, only hanging this little part into the dye bath so I didn't mess up everything else. And it gives it, to me, it saves it from having too much white. So, and it's something different. It's something different. All right, these two. Okay. Now I'm trying to think of which one is the one. Okay. I think this is the one that had this is the one that was wrapped around the piece of rope. Okay. So what I did is I laid the rope here and I rolled the fabric onto the rope. And then when I got it all rolled up, I tightened it on the rope like this and like this. Tightened it to made a nice little like donut. And then tied a little easy slip knot here. And so from that technique, I got this amazing. To me, this looks like stained glass. It is just beautiful. Another thing I did this time, since I know I'm going to cut everything up to charm packs, I made my fabric in multiples of 5, plus a little room in case it shrinks. Because, you know, it will. Cotton, every time you wash it, it almost shrinks. This is a piece that I just accordion folded and put a series of rubber bands down the piece. This is so lovely and so much easier than some of these machinations and glue painting on it that, heck, do plenty this way. But see, this will make, I made it so to make 2 5-inch squares and 2 this way and 3 down. So, all right. No wonder. But I can't wait for you to see the, I can't wait for you to see the video that I made where I just walk you through it all. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring the camera down and show you that it's really not that hard to take this hot glue off. And after washing it, see how it just kind of like broke and wants to come up. And so it's just a matter of, and I'll do this tonight sitting in front of the TV. To me, this kind of stuff is fun. You know, I tend to be one of those people that likes doing these little things by hand. But you see how easy this is? So just remember, this is easier and more successful than wax. And the wax, you know, you have to use it in a well-ventilated area. But look how simple that is. To just peel that off. Now, I guess you do waste some of this glue. If you knew how to melt it back down, you could. But I tell you the truth, this has been so wonderful. Yeah, I'm not sure what you said looked like feathers, but one of the things I did glue feathers. I did, you know, just those big floppy feathers you quilt on stuff. But you see how easy that is to take off? You just kind of, with your fingernail, just bring it up and then peel it off. So, and this is a good clamshell design, but you'll notice it's easy to take off if you put enough on there that you leave a little bead. Because if it's too thin, then you are just scraping and scraping at that fabric to get it. But there you go. Isn't that cool? So this is the best method, and I'm tickled that I thought it up. I didn't ask anybody or find it somewhere. And here's all your little glue bits. Okay, so there you go. I think that is dramatic. And let me see. This one, okay, it's coming off. But just, you may even want to get something depending on how your fingernails are. This one's a little harder to come off. I think because I did this first, and as I got better, I realized put big blob, put a nice thick bead, and look how easy. So you just take it, peel it right off, and then look. So, and the difference, look at the difference, how much brighter it is when you take the glue off. So I could reuse. So this could all be recyclable. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? Wow. So it's just a matter of, and I'm wondering, like, maybe a little fingernail file that'll help me just to get the edge up so you can peel it right off. It comes off. You don't have to boil it. You don't have to. It's not toxic. I think this is the way I'm going to do any designs on the. Look at that. That's so nice and bright. So watch here. It's a light blue. When I peel it off, look at that. And that is amazing. So I don't mind peeling this off one little bit. So while I still have the dye pot in good shape, I will do a hot glue of this one flower design that I loved. And so when I had this white space in between here, I thought, hey, just put a little diamond and with a dot in the center. Okay, it's almost. But make sure you put enough of a bead that you can get it off good. Isn't that nice? All right. And here one more time, just because it's so much fun. Look, whoa, it's nice and bright. All right. And then now I know I can reuse, or if anyone uses glue pots, I will save the glue for you. All right. So that's that. So now, I was so busy this week. I did the art quilt Thursday, and then I did the, where I worked on the pet portrait, and then I spent all the rest of the time getting all of my resist ready. So I sat there last night when I was too tired to do anything else. And I looked online for quilt designs, okay? So I looked, and I want something soft, something old-fashioned, something very, like an antique look, 2-color fabric. And I love the indigo against crisp white. I think it's gorgeous. Oh, we have a comment tip here. It looks like feathers. Okay. We had them I can look, see if a florist wants it. Bleach as a resist to redesign the ones you're not happy with. I probably could. I wonder if you can use, what was I thinking? Got a dry throat all of a sudden. What is it called hydrogen peroxide. I wonder if I can do a peroxide bleaching of it. The one thing, okay, let me tell you this. This is, I found interesting because I had bleached fabric before when I wanted a lighter color and just didn't have it. The one thing you have to do is stop the bleaching process. You would think that just washing it a couple times would be enough. And maybe, but maybe not. Hydrogen peroxide stops the bleaching of chlorine bleach. So remember that. But hydrogen peroxide also can act as a bleach on its own. So I was looking and looking at designs of quilts. I had already seen one design that I really liked, and I sent the picture to Mary because, you know, she bought 2 of my Indigo kits, charm packs, and she was talking about what she wanted to do with them. And I showed her this quilt I had seen that caught my eye. But I went to Pinterest, I went everywhere, and I looked up 2-color quilts, blue and white quilts, traditional, old-fashioned, antique quilts, looking for indigo. To me reminds me of warm summer afternoons, taking a nap, peace, tranquility. To me, I don't, on the hot heat of the summer, I don't want bright, vibrant colors. So I want this quilt, and I wanted it to be easy to make because I have plenty of quilts that I'm not done yet that have, one of them had 350 some half square triangles. Are you kidding me? So I even checked out flying geese patterns because I thought, I love flying geese right now. But yeah, their work. So I looked everywhere, and then I brought Mark in on the process. And I said, tell me which one of these things you like. And I showed him all the different ones I had popped into the folder while I was searching. Would you know that the one he liked best was the one I sent Miss Mary? And, but while I was looking, I found these, free printable templates for flying geese. Yay. So I printed them out into 3 sizes I thought I would use. But, nope, maybe 4 sizes I thought I would use. But those always come in handy. Plus, I saved it because if you're going to do a quilt, you're probably going to want quite a few. So it wasn't a waste of time because I really was able to hone down on what I wanted. I found one jewel box quilt, but it didn't have enough white in it. And I wanted lots of white. And I'm going to quilt it on quilting on 100% cotton batting. The probably warm and natural. No, I should do warm and white. And, but I want it to be a soft, scrunchable, placid, sweet quilt. So here, the block that I found, that I saw, all I did was just see a picture of. There was no pattern or anything. Is the good old courthouse steps, but it's slightly different. Do you see how the center is? Hi, Michelle Lang. Hi, sweetheart. So here is the quilt. So I designed that block, and the entire quilt. Hold on. Here is what I'm going to make him. Because once he saw that pattern, he said, I'd like that quilt. And he never says that. The quilt he likes to sleep in in the summer is starting to fall apart. It was a quilt that was made in China and was cheaply bought 20 years ago. And he saw this and said, oh, I would love this. And what it does is it gives lots of white spaces for your eye to rest. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do up in these corners. I might find a piece of indigo that has a really pretty design and showcase it up there. But this is going to be easy to, this is going to be so easy to piece. I just cut out rectangles. So easy to sew. Rectangles. So this is it. And somewhere I thought I changed it, named it, but its name is Indigo Mark, or Mark. I'll probably change it to Mark's Indigo. But anyway, he never asked me for a quilt. Yeah, here it is, Mark's Indigo. But anyway, I'm going to make it for him. And the timing is pretty good. Now, it says when I printed out yardage needs, it says it needs over 4 yards of white. We'll see. We'll see. But the only thing I'm worried about is one piece. I tried to, yes, somewhere, here we go. I pieced out the rotary cutting instructions. This is for my EQ8. Love EQ8. It does the work for me. Some of the pieces are going to have to be 12.5 inches long, 9 13/16, and 7 13/16. So I've got to decide, do I want to cut the long strips out of the newly dyed stuff? I was really hoping to use a lot of the old stuff too. But there are 2 pieces, 4.5, and, oh gosh, Michelle, you're going to hate this one, 1 13/16. That's it's so many pieces to make a 12-inch block. Okay. But I liked the fact of having this interesting middle. Oh, Kim, that's wonderful. You're quilting that. Yeah, and you know what's nice is I won't get bored because I'm going to be using all these different fabrics. And in fact, I figured I might do it this way, dark in the center coming out to light. And so I'll segregate all my fabrics. But maybe if I have to use so many of these newly dyed ones, well, Mark, in making your quilt, I'm going to have to get some more fabric and dye it all over again. Yay! So anyway, can it be paper pieced? It probably could be. I just don't know if I'll need it to be. I'm not sure. I've got to see which is faster. That's something good to look into. I can go back into the program and then click on foundation piece, which will show me how to do it paper piece. But I thought, I can do this. I can do this. So, and if I'm going to make it, I don't want it to be one of my 7-year projects. I want it to be done this summer. So we'll see. So it is so good to see Kim. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and look at pictures that you have sent in. My daughter is in New York City. I think something, yeah, what is that on my camera? Might just be the way the light shows. Okay. All right. So let's now look at your photos. Plus, I have some good photos of my garden. And all right. Let's go look at photos today. Please remember to send me photos of your gardens, of your flowers, anything you would like to share with us for our show and tell Sundays. Hold on just a second. All right, I will try to get this. Yeah, I want to get it straight on the show. All right, looks like Betty has the first one. She has been working on a new beach landscape. So I can't wait to see the next thing that she does. But it's the turtles, the baby turtles finding their way out to sea. Now look at her water. Look at the lighthouse. The cloud fabric is beautiful. She's got a chickadee up here. This is wonderful. Look at the little flowers by the ocean. I think this is wonderful. So keep us posted, Miss Betty. It's going to be a fantastic quilt. I love it. All right. Let's see who's next. Let me see. I had to go through and finally clear out a few things. I guess we'll go to me. Let me see. Here was my Indigo Setup out on the garage. This is from my studio window looking out. Mark puts the gazebo up and see this clothesline for me to hang all the fabrics from. And it gives me some shade. Here is my dye bucket, my rinse bucket, and the little pail that I keep things while they oxidize, because it's a 3-step process. You have to soak it, dye it, sit it somewhere to oxidize, then rinse it again, then soak it again. It's a lot. It keeps you pretty busy. Here's the camera on the tripod where I was filming it, and a chair, and a couple tray tables, so, and a hose. Because, boy, when you go through the rinse water, you go through quite a bit of rinsing. All right, so that was that. Now, let me see. Let me go back to this. Indigo patterns. Let me show you a couple things. I was looking at indigo quilts, and this is really pretty, but that's very intense. But they have done some absolutely gorgeous designs. But that was a little bit intense. Then let me see. I don't know if it's going to let me go back. This one was my second choice. But I think for it to be that beautiful, you would have to have all dark indigo color. But I love all the open spaces for white spaces for quilting. That was my second choice. Okay, let me see. Here was a pretty good choice, but I thought that might be a little busy. It's a lot of 9 patches, and I do love 9 patches. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but this is where, I know what I can show you. Let me see if I can find it. This is the little pattern that I did with glue all over. I hope you can see it. It's looking a little bright. Okay. But I did it all over the fabric with the glue for nothing. Okay. But this is the folder I kept to give me ideas. You have to make sure, if you're going to do wax resist, make sure it soaks through all the way through the fabric. Okay. And that's a lot. That's a lot of wax and a lot of time. All right, so here is the only picture. This is the only way I fell in love with the capital stairs or capital steps. I saw this little picture, and that became my ideal. Okay, I don't know who did it or what. It's just beautiful. Okay, now I think I'm done with showing that. All right, let me go back out here and go to July 17th. All right, here we go. Now these, I'm just going to go ahead and show them in the order they're in, so some of them may be a bit random, and I apologize for that. I wish I could get this camera to tilt better. Let's see. No, I don't think it's going to. All right. Here's the first picture of my daughter Becky at FAO Schwartz in New York City. Is that just the coolest? It's hurting my hand to hold it, so I think I'm just going to come back and there. It might be a little crooked. I apologize. All right, now let's Whoops, how do I do a slideshow? Let me see. Sometimes they'll do a slideshow. It's not. So we're babysitting my daughter's dog, and then these are our two. And there's actually another one. She's not on the couch. So I'm here. I'm right here. Those two, this standard size poodle, and then Mark, all on one couch. That was a full couch. Then Mark, while I was doing this dyeing, he came out in the front yard because it was looking like a jungle. And he limbed up the weeping cherry. He trimmed all these bushes so you can actually see down the pond. And that was nice. So I just thought I'd show y'all that. It's been a lot of work. I had done some trimming of bushes up here a couple weeks ago. It's a lot of work. We're talking about, condo living, I think, is going to be for us one day. Here on my front porch, I have different caladiums and a dragon wing begonia, and that's looking pretty. And I'm just going to go. I'm not going to tell you everything with these because you might get bored, but I'll just show you real quick. I wish I could show you this up closer, but this is some Rudbeckia or Black-Eyed Susans. I thought I was buying a purple cone flower, and it turned into Rudbeckia. Here is one of my lantana plants. And something is eating my hibiscus. So if anyone knows what eats hibiscus, let me know. It's really making me very angry. Okay. And I think they look a little worse for wear, but we're getting there. We had a drought, and now it's just drowning rain. All right. My tomato plants have now reached up to 6 feet tall. That's what the strings are for, is I'll keep tacking them onto strings so that I can get as big a growth. I want them to put on lots of baby tomatoes. I love these million bells. Sorry about the blur, but they're sweet. They're like a miniature petunia. They're so sweet. This plant is called a cigar plant because if you were to be able to see the little flower, it's orange and then has like white on the tip, like the ash of a cigar. I just love these quirky plants. This is in a little tiny, like 3-inch pot hanging on the deck. And it just, plants want to grow. This is a balloon flower that I can't claim it. The lady who lived here before put it in. It's beautiful. Here are some Nikoshinas. Another dragon wing begonia with my flower box up there. I tell you, I like plants that are easy to care for. Begonias, impatiens, caladiums, they're my best friends. Oh, maybe this is not blurry this time. Let me see. Here's another one. Nope, still blurry. This is the backyard flower bed. I look out my sunroom, and there's a bird bath here and a bird feeder there. And we plant this with caladiums and hostas. Here's the other pot on my front porch. And these, each of the caladiums are slightly different. And they're just sweet. I love them because you don't have to do anything to it. Now, my daughter said, Mom, everybody was doing it, so I did it too. Well, I can't fuss at her. She's over 40 years old. Okay, so there. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Then she went to the Central Park Zoo. I love these speckled sheep. They're so cute. Then she went to St. Patrick's Cathedral. Maybe after touching that bull, felt like she had to go to a cathedral. Okay. Then here she is up on the Empire State Building. She said she walked over 15,000 steps that day. She was covering the ground. And as far as I know, she was out there by herself doing all of this sightseeing. There's the Empire State Building lobby. I just love that. I love everything Art Deco. And if that's not quintessential Art Deco. Here she's out in front of Rockefeller Center. I'm so proud of her. And then now she has connected with her best friend Jill, who she went up there to see in the first place. I love it. I have no idea where they are on this one, but it looks cool. Okay. And here she is, Times Square. You know, maybe traveling is for the young people. I tell you, because, whew, that looks exhausting. I don't think I could do 15,000 steps if I tried. This must be in Central Park. In fact, it kind of looks like You've Got Mail from that movie. I love some of the old, just beautiful, quaint things. That is so pretty. She either had good people that would take pictures, or maybe she was actually sightseeing with someone. I've been trying not to bother her because she's only got a few days up there and I want her to enjoy everything. Look at this, looking across to Manhattan skyline at night. Is that just beautiful? Oh. Then here's a picture of my grandsons. And Chris wanted to show me, my son Chris, who's over here, wanted to show me, this is Russell and his little brother Donnie, and they were traveling, and as you see, they use the blanket that I made, I guess that was Donnie's blanket. And it's a great travel blanket, he said. I love that. He always makes sure to let me know that they enjoyed that. What a sweet, sweet, sweet babies. Okay. This is my grandson who joined the Marines, and he gets to come home now every other weekend for a short visit. So that's my grandson, Devin. So proud of that boy. And you know, if you're a grandparent, look at this. My daughter sent these. My daughter, Katie, the one that lives on the Eastern Shore. And I went, what is that flower? But something kept sticking in my brain. And I finally realized that's Lysianthus. But boy, is she doing a great job of growing those. I've never been able to grow them so lush. That's beautiful. But I try to send a text to my grandson Devin every couple weeks, and look at her gladiola. Isn't that beautiful? I've never seen a bicolor gladiola. So she has got my green thumb. Now you ready to see some produce? Look at this. Look at this. That girl, now what is she going to do with all those peppers? But you can tell I don't like peppers. But boy, I'll take her squash in a heartbeat. I'll take those squash and the green beans. So, and she is a pickle maker. So I'm sure, although this is a zucchini, I wonder, no, they might all be zucchini. But that's wonderful. All right, so that's it for me this week. Now let's go back and, more importantly, see what you have sent in. Debbie's got these pictures I want to show you one more time. I love what she has been doing. I love that. And look, she finished her winter landscape, snowy landscape. And I love this. That's a seahorse with sass and a beautiful beach scene. And you know what? Isn't that amazing that you can make something with some of the, now, her curving is immaculate, but you can do a landscape quilt easily and quickly. It's just amazing. And then one last view of Dolores's Bernese mountain dog portrait. Thread painting to die for. Look at this thread painting. Just amazing. Way to go, Miss Dolores. Way to go. All right. Let's see. Oh, and I saw Jeannie. Hi, Miss Jeannie. And bye-bye, Michelle. I see Michelle. She said she couldn't stay that long, and I understand. Then from Miss Jody, she sent, and I have now put these on site under the same title as I put her other hints for portrait making. And then this she has done the her latest progress on the quilt show block of the month. It's beautiful. And then here is her latest, most grand quilt. And I'll go back to here. She shows how to do the little pieces and how she lumps them together and cuts them out of, takes 6 different fabrics just to do the hand of the Wicked Witch. Okay, I showed you that just a moment ago, her progress. And there is her Wicked Witch. So thank you once again for taking the time to show us. In fact, did I show you this one? This has writing on it. She adds extra to this piece because it's going to go underneath a darker piece. So you have to add extra when one lighter piece goes under a darker one. That is great. On this darkest one, no extra is needed because you just make that to size. So if you belong to our group's IO, it is on the site now. Okay, Kathy Klein. Oh, sent a picture. We've been talking about the neutral quilts we've been working on. And Kathy Klein said she made this from Alex Anderson's Neutrals book. And I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Kathy. It is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's see. Linda. Linda has been busy working on a new collage quilt. Slow sewing collage quilt. I just love it. And she told me that she did painting. She painted some of those designs to enhance it on that layer. So, with art quilting, the sky is the limit. Just start cutting, go for it. As this little mouse would say, you can do it. I love that little mouse. I never am going to take him off. All right, so I showed you last week how Miss Mary just said, threw caution to the wind and made a wonderful hand-painted fabric. I love it. I love the color, the motion, wonderful. And then now, she is wonderful. She tries just about everything we do. And so she posterized her kitty. So she's going to get ready and do a pet portrait. She was concerned about all the little hairs. How do you do that? But I told her Miss Jody might be able to answer it. But what I would do is just block out the main areas of color and come back in later and do thread painting for all the little hairs. Because you just can't possibly do all of that. So I think she can come back with some of these areas and just do thread painting and just block like right here, it's mostly white, block that in. Here, I would put the white up a little way, but the rest of this part right here, I would do with heavy thread painting. But I can't wait to see how this progresses. That's wonderful, Miss Mary. All right, let's see who's next. This camera's giving me a fit. I think it's because I took it off and put it back on yesterday. Miss Marcia's 4-toned. I first said 3, but it's 4 color crochet. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's see who else. Miss Melanie. Oh, look. Okay, I've got some great ones from Miss Melanie. Here is her husband's amazing quilt. I love this. And I love the way he got such depth from sometimes having the fish in front of the seaweed and sometimes in back of the seaweed. I love the colors he chose, the pattern. It's beautiful. Way to go. And if you look closely, the quilting is a fish pattern. Isn't that fabulous? The way to go, hubby. You did an outstanding job. Then she wanted to show me that this past week they had a hot air balloon land behind her backyard. She saw it go over the house. Look at this. How exciting would that be? I love that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm glad they went out to take the pictures of it. It's fabulous. So there are just wonders everywhere. And that's what we have to hang on to, is the wonders. So here again, we have Miss Mitty's amazing pillow. This is beautiful. Let me see. I'll show you. I'll go back and see she had not done none of that special thread painting. She did a whole bunch here to give the shadows. But look what her thread painting, look how it brought that to life. Isn't that just beautiful? I am just in love with that work, Miss Mitty. All right. Is there someone else? No, I think that was it. Wait a minute, Miss Polly? Yeah, no, I saw that one. No, I think that might be, oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Let me see. Oh, yes, this is our sweet Cheryl Hogan marching for women's health, breast cancer awareness. Let me see. I did see somebody. We have a new member to our group, SJ. And look at these wonderful, this is a great quilt. She's working on Lisa Capon, her latest quilt. Whoops. This camera is giving me a fit. Okay. I had to pull the wire longer. All right. Look at this. This is a quilt as you go project that evidently is going on right now at Miss Lisa Capon's quilting site. We love Miss Lisa Capon, and her patterns are great. So rush over to Miss Lisa Capon's quilts and start one for yourself today. Isn't that wonderful? I love all that she does. Okay, let me double check because I'm glad I didn't miss Miss SJ's. Okay. Miss SJ's first name is Sandra, but I love that nickname SJ. I think that is it for the pictures today. All right, let me come back to y'all, close this out. But that was fun. I love looking at show and tell. Always feel free to send me your photos to OurTimeToQuilt at twc.com. All right. And we were I was a 25-year subscriber to DirecTV, but decided I've been ready a couple years. I'm tired of paying the high prices, and they always, like twice a year, they go up at least $10 a time. And so we now subscribe to YouTube TV for less than a third of what DirecTV wanted to charge us. And oh, there's Miss Polly with her pink tail wagging. And but then the other day I called and I was going to cancel our home phone because all we get on it is spam calls. And so I was talking to her about dropping off our landline. I've never not had a landline, but we've got our cell phone. So, well, she ended up saying, if I give you $25 off, would you keep the landline? So I said, okay. And she said, that's for 3 years. Well, that was pretty easy. So we're just saving so much money now. I mean, the difference, if we didn't get a discount from DirecTV, our package with no movie channels was $182. And the YouTube TV is $65. Like, that's not hard math. And then saving $25 on our internet and phone. I said, I can buy more fabric. Mark said, no. Maybe. Are there any questions you have today? And I hope I didn't miss anybody. Now, is Laura R. and Laura Ramos the same person? Because if not, hi, Laura Ramos. So, and anybody, did I miss a question you had? Let me know. But I've got so many quilts to work on. But you know that indigo fabric is calling me, saying, start a new quilt. Oh, I'm a mess. I tell you what, if you're in the market for fabric, which I'm not, there have been some great sales of some beautiful fabric. It's so hard, but I know I shouldn't spend any more money. I've got a crown to pay for coming up. So I'm, enough, Deb. But, I put it in a cart and pretend like I'm going to buy it and then close the whole thing out. It makes me feel better. But I got to pay for a crown before I buy any fabric. And, thank you, Miss Kaz. So, yeah, Mark today was so cute. He needed something from Walmart, and he was going to go get it. And I said, well, check. I think they have free shipping if you spend a certain amount. So he goes, okay, we have to add another couple things to get free shipping. Well, we hate going to a big Walmart. So, okay, well, I thought of 3 things right off the top of my head. He's been watching me wheel and deal, right? Somehow he found a $10 off your Walmart purchase coupon, used it and got $10 off. He was so excited. I said, that is where we have to live. We are now senior citizens, and he hasn't retired yet, but he will before too long. And I said, you save $10, then you get to do something fun. So that it's our new game to play. Oh, thank you, Miss Kaz. I tell you what, I really need to get out there and do more work to it. Once it gets this hot, it is hard for me to want to get out there at all. And so we'll see. Any other? It's a different person. Well, hi, Linda Ramos. Yes, I was trying to remember. I know what Laura R. Linda Ramos and Laura. Pardon me. That's what happens when I take off my glasses. I just saw the L. Laura, I remember your last name. And then Linda Ramos. So great to see you here. So, Jeannie, how are you, hon? I'll tell you right now, and just so you know, Miss Jody is having some nausea problems with her chemo, real fatigue. It has taken a toll on her white blood count. So we're just going to wrap her up real close to your heart. If you believe in prayer, feel free to give her as many prayers as you want. And we're just going to wrap her up and just hope. She only should have, I think, one more treatment, one more chemo, and then she'll start some radiation. But at least her tumor is gone. They're going to make sure they're doing their very best to make sure it never comes back. So we're going to take real good care of her. And Miss Linda, keep Miss Linda McCormick in your thoughts and prayers, because, you know, she has a couple things that they constantly have to monitor. And it's hard. It's hard when you wake up and you just don't feel good that day, or you don't have the energy. So we'll keep our lovely ladies. Oh, your dad is in hospice. Oh, honey. Alberta Powell, you're having trouble sending it? Double check that address, or it could just be a very busy internet. Sometimes I get on and it's like, oh, hello. Oh, I know what I was going to tell y'all too. When I had my surgery almost 2 years ago, I noticed my hair getting thinner and thinner on top. And all of a sudden this summer, it was getting thicker again. I'm like, what's that about? I ended up reading in the AARP. Yeah, that's where I get all my news from, AARP magazine. And they talked about the blood thinners will make you lose your hair, can make you lose your hair. And I went, oh, that's right. Right after my 30 days of blood thinner shots. And for your hair to thin, and it'll take a while for it to come. I thought, thank God. I mean, it was coming out so fast. I thought, I'm going to be bald soon. And just leave me just a few, something I can put a pink ribbon on or something, you know. But I was happy to read that's what happened. So we have to remember to tell people that when they have certain medications, it might have some side effects. Oh, thank you, Miss Laura. Thank you, Miss Laura. Well, I tell you what, Miss Alberta, when you send me another picture, I'll be so happy to put it on our show and tell. So please, thank you, Linda. Jody is a dear soul, and she has been so brave and so upbeat through all of this. But weekends, she said, are the hardest of all. So I don't know if she normally has her treatment on Tuesday, so maybe by the weekend it's tough. But, and think of our dear Linda. She's so talented. And I'm going to think thoughts that she gets a burst of energy. I really would like to have her feeling good and being able to create again. Well, I'm sorry I don't have more to offer you today. But I'm thinking I'm going to go upstairs. I'm not going to start this quilt today. But I've got to go upstairs and get I've got both Indigo Dying is ready to be put on and made into a movie, so I can put it on our YouTube site and y'all can see it. And because I try to put every step, every stage, what you do and how you do it. So I've got to work on that first. But maybe tomorrow morning, if I'm a real good girl, I get to start a new quilt. So I know you shouldn't start, they say, you shouldn't start a new quilt until you finished your other one. Well, I have over 100 UFOs. So if I waited for that, I'd never make a new quilt in my life. And you know what? I've been watching The Last Homely House with Kate Jackson. And she said she doesn't mind having several projects going at once, and just whatever mood she's in that day, she works on this one. Whatever mood she's in tomorrow, she works on a different one. I like that woman. So that's my excuse. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Any questions, any trouble you're having with something? I tried to check in yesterday morning with our Jitsi site, and I didn't see anyone there. But keep us in mind if you would like to chat on Saturday mornings on Jitsi. Let me know, and I'll try to be there. Yes, oh, don't you love Kate? Aw. That hexie quilt with the ocean colors. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I absolutely love that. But I have a standing rule for me that says I will not make a hexie quilt ever. And I used to have a rule about no hand sewing and no applique, and I've broken those. I've got to stick to one rule. But I tell you what, that's her granddaughter Agnes's quilt. It is gorgeous. And almost anything with Kate Facets fabric in it is going to be special. So it is beautiful. Yeah. Oh, yours is mostly Kate. Isn't that wonderful? That quilt is gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, you've got to go check it out on The Last Homely House. Kate Jackson from England. She lives up almost near Scotland. Beautiful show. Oh, Jeannie, yes. Please be thinking about Miss Jeannie. It's hard. She's very close to her father, and it's hard to have them in hospice. But I'm glad he's at his own home if he can feel comfortable, but I'm sure that puts a workload on Miss Jeannie too. So be thinking about her. All right, I think I'm going to go put my feet up and work on editing a video because I have owed y'all this video for well over a month. I got to get it going. So y'all take good care. I'll also work on the handout that I'll put on our site, but anybody, if you're not a member of our site, just ask me for it. I love sharing. So, and if anybody would like to make one of these, I'll share this with you too. Because I went into EQ8 and designed it myself. So it's mine to give. Oh, Jeannie, you're the sweetest thing. In fact, Jeannie didn't. I was trying to think if I had another picture from you. I know we had a picture of you for our pink celebration. I'm so sad. My pink hair is barely pink anymore. But maybe when Miss Jody's all done with all of her treatments, I'll put some blue dye in it because that's my signature color. So, all right, take care. Have a good week. And please take good care of yourself. Be positive and uplifting with yourself. Be very patient with yourself because you're very special. You can't take care of other people if you don't first take care of yourself. All right? Find something silly and fun to work on. Something totally nonsensical to work on. Keep the magic going. Bye-bye, everybody. Mwah. Bye-bye, ladies. You're the best.